So this is what it's like. We wait round for Mark, like he's late, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm not ready to go yet."
I've got 15 pack, eh?
Proudly sponsored.
It's about titillating, I guess, the sponsors, isn't it? Getting them enthusiastic. I can't believe we don't have these guys on board already. It's about drinking responsibly.
What are they?
Seaweed.
It's food to go with.
You didn't get any chips, next Changi chips.
Well, I did, but I knew he wasn't going to fucking sponsor us. So.
Rick wasn't even 50 when he finished the show.
Murray Mexted's only, he's actually by deep hole, but now 10 years younger.
Just turned 60.
Yeah, he looks 60 though, yet he can get away with it. You know, how old are you, Rick?
40.
Old, not how heavy.
Oh, how heavy?
Yeah.
I'm about the same weight.
Oh yeah?
I am now, yeah. 100, 102.
102.
Yeah.
Mate, this is
Kilos.
meant to be,
What?
have some integrity and some honesty.
Yeah, they're not going to believe anything we're saying.
No, mate, you're not 102.
I'm 103.
Oh, there you go.
It's going to keep on going.
Yeah. Yeah. How long's this show? Oh, 103. It's a bit of a cheap and nasty start.
So what do you mean?
Took us back to 96.
Yeah, I mean, you've basically just rehashed the old stuff and put.
You just shortened the original ones.
I was about 12 years
No
old.
wonder we didn't have any fucking sponsors. I mean, it's bloody evident the titles, isn't it? Don't tell me you're going to rehash old clips of the show and stuff like that.
Well, we don't have any new ones.
Oh,
Do you mind if I start?
shit.
Yeah, go for it.
You can't be a shambles. We haven't even started.
It's shambolic, mate. That's old stuff too. That was
What?
90s, not the noughties.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it?
was 2005, those titles.
Really?
Yeah.
Almost
Seems a long
90s.
time
So
ago.
we'll break it down, Rick, once you've told us what we're doing.
Welcome to the Sports Cafe-ish podcast brought to us by TAB, original sponsor. They're back.
Good.
See?
Good.
Good call.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Can we just make it
Full
known that
circle.
I had to go and buy these beautiful Steinlager classics? Which camera do we look at? We just don't.
it's a podcast
Everywhere's a camera.
Yeah, well, well, then why have we got cameras? Why is it just
because it's a YouTube podcast as well.
Oh, okay. Well done.
Some
That's for the
ASMR.
podcast.
That's for the sound
The
effects.
audio.
Almost.
Can we introduce Aaron?
Yeah. It was, I thought, because when you sort of suggested we do this.
There's a
everyone-
technical thing about you talking into microphone.
All right. When you suggested we do this, maybe it's a bit premature and accepting. I actually didn't think it'd come off. And now we're here. And, the overwhelming feedback that I've had has been, you're not going to get away with any of the stuff that happened back in the day. And so thought it'd be great to get Aaron on board as the sort of PCA.
Yeah. Political correctness.
So
What's
if we
the
go
R
off
stand
track, you're going to political us back on track, eh?
for? Okay.
Advisor, political correctness advisor.
In-house.
PCA.
Okay.
So,
All right.
So, Aaron, what's the correct term? Like, do we is it a dwarf or a little person? What would we call you?
You can call me a little person.
Why don't you just call him Aaron, mate? What's
Pardon?
wrong with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his name? How about that for a correct term?
Yeah, actually, that's probably the way to go about it. I do have a name. I am a person. I'm not that sort of whatever you're
Don't anger him,
talking-
mate. He's eating
Yeah,
normal
yeah.
size folk.
Sorry, your face is going red there. I can see. Yeah,
Aaron.
I can see there. I know it's hot.
All right,
Yeah.
Oh, calm down.
That'd be brilliant. If
Angry
you just
little
got into a scrap in the first minute back. I don't know who would win.
There'll be an empty seat
If
somewhere.
you
and
kept
I won't
away
be
from his
here.
mouth, mate, you'd go all right.
Right.
You know?
Can I ask what you gentlemen have been up to in the last 16 years?
Trying to avoid this. No, look, a lot of different stuff, Rick, as you know, but I'm a bit the same as Mark. I wasn't sure you were going to follow through with this. And I said on the thing, we've done a lot of podcasts with other people, and it's good ones, bad ones, but Shereé's out in this. And I'd say one thing as well, Rick, without Because I think we want to start on a positive note with this, don't we?
Yeah.
We want to, go positive. I think there's a lot of potential here. But I would say to you, Rick, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should all the time, That's really, you should think about
Remember that.
Should think about it. So should we not do this?
I wouldn't say that, just a lot of things in your
Other
life.
things, the things that make you blind.
Just something to run through, But hey,
Think about.
and
A rule for life.
Are there enough podcasts out there at the moment? I mean, there's a lot of podcasts out there.
Yeah, there's probably room for one more.
Improvement, were you going to He's getting ahead of himself.
There's actually more podcasters in New Zealand than Uber drivers at the moment.
Are there?
And real estate agents. I think it goes real estate agents, podcasters, and then Uber drivers, real estate agents, then podcasters.
Podcasters.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we are now, are podcasters.
Right.
What about influencers?
Well, there's a bit of an overlap there.
Rick's got 14,000.
Yeah, you got quite the following there.
Yeah, I'm quite big. I'm
What's it
quite.
called? He's got 14,000 followers.
Yeah.
Which is why Aaron is so pivotal because, I mean, imagine if you got cancelled, you'd lose those people who support you.
Well, these
what's your
days you can
Uber
actually
rating?
buy followers.
Really?
Like you have to go check their followers first, and you got to see who's actually following them because they could be from somewhere overseas.
Hey,
so
yeah,
Are you,
I'm just
are you implying that I've bought my followers?
Hey,
maybe
I know, you're
not all.
we
pretty
haven't
wealthy,
got
man,
off
these days.
on a good foot.
Am I allowed to say that they're relatively cheap if you buy them from India?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a lot of those people that.
Done that before.
Yeah.
Online, I mean, you don't have to go
Yeah.
there and get them. There, you
Yeah.
just,
No, you don't have to
do it
fly
online.
over.
No.
No,
Okay.
nothing physical.
Okay,
Can I talk about sport?
sure.
What do you think of the Super Rugby final?
Didn't see it.
No, nor I.
No, I saw a bit actually, Rick. I watched I was in and out of it. Look, as you know, as a cruise.
It was a Saturday night.
Just as a normal
Nothing
Saturday
changed.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Why do
Keep one eye on it.
they keep putting these things on a Saturday?
Yeah.
And no, but being a Crusader fan, what it proved to me is just how close the Crusaders were to winning this whole final. Anyway, they beat both those teams in the previous weeks.
Yeah, but they didn't make the top 8.
Yeah,
So they can't be close to winning it if they didn't make the top 8.
Devil's in the detail, Rick. I mean, they just had to win one game here or there. Was a fluff try here or there. They probably would have won this tournament. Would that have been good for the game? I don't know.
Well, I went and I enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed the rugby. The one thing that I was really unhappy about was when I went to the food outlet at halftime.
God, it's going back to food.
They'd only they only had pies left, no burgers.
All gone.
So I struggled with that.
Yeah, beers.
Yep, they had beer. They had plenty of
103.
beer. Yeah, I'm 103 kg.
There's no way.
How much do you think I weigh?
I reckon you'd be 114.
No, I'm 103. 103.6.
It was 102. You've gone up 1.6 in the space of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I've been putting on some weight. And then the Warriors, they've been up and down,
Say it again. Yeah.
And 1 minute they're sort of challenging the top teams, next minute they're getting smashed. But the thing I love about the Warriors is the passion of their fan base.
Well, it's sort of only really come in the last 2 years, especially off the back of last year. But the fans are turning up. There was 80% of the Warriors fans at the Titans game over the weekend was Warriors fans, and 20% was Titans.
Hold on, so 80% of the Warriors fans were Warriors fans.
Yeah. They should have been Titans fans.
Right.
Yeah, but I know
it
that
was
sounds funny,
simple,
but
man.
A lot of
I made
Kiwis there,
that
but how about the
I've had the same as that.
sorry, the okay, so Blues won, right?
The Blues
They're
won.
champions
yeah,
now.
we're the champions, the best team in the
Oh, is
country.
that
Season next year, are the fans gonna be there?
Yep.
You reckon?
was that the actual final? I thought
That
it
was
was
the
the
final.
semi-final.
No, it was the final.
Who'd they play?
The Chiefs.
Oh, the Wicked of Chief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't you one of the owners of the Highlanders?
Yeah, but they were out. So why to watch?
Because you're a rugby person.
What it was, mate. It was a chapter.
Chapter in your life.
Lovely chapter.
Well, let's talk about
How long Mad Monday been going since the Islanders were
let's
out?
talk about America's Cup Sail GP. Any thoughts on that?
None whatsoever on that, actually.
It's going really well.
I honestly, look, you've
I grab
chosen
another
some
beer?
interesting stuff.
Gonna need another 2 after this.
I don't know
Thank
much
God I grabbed
about
the
it.
24. Can't believe you haven't got a sponsor. Mate, I paid for 24 Steinlagers, and we're now.
Well, it's just nice to see you pay for something.
Nothing on that.
Nothing on that.
When is it? When's the big?
October
Yep, you going? Are you?
in Spain,
You going to head over?
Barcelona.
in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like
I might head over then. You gonna be there at the same time?
Well, why not?
Yeah.
Sort of shoulder season. Things are a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you can because we've got the podcast on. You'll be back here for the podcast.
Well, we.
I thought this was a one-off.
Yeah.
No, it's every week.
Let's wait.
Well, you can do things online these days, boys. You know,
Good point.
There
you
you
see.
go.
there might be a bit of a delay in the screen there,
Waiting
but
gold. Already
yeah.
paying for himself.
and
like
the
it.
connection
I
might
Speaking
not
of
be as
paying,
good. But yeah,
you.
Can we look back at something that we did back in the past? So I don't know if you remember, we stopped the show in 2005. That was the final. You know, it was probably my favourite show because it was the end of it all. And then, let's say late 2007, you rang me at 3:00 in the morning from a bar in Ponsonby, and you said, "I've just run into the boss of TVNZ, and she wants us to bring the show back." And this is 3:00 in the morning.
This is a true story.
This is a true story. And
Why'd you take the call at 3?
well, because I thought it was an emergency. Like I got out of bed because I'm normally in bed by 9. Came downstairs, picked the phone up,
So it's your fault, mate.
and I'm like,
Mate,
Like-
that was 14 years ago or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't blame me for this.
and I said, yeah, okay. And then you put the phone on to Jane Wilson, who was the head of TVNZ, who was in this bar,
Yeah.
and she said, and she was, had
She
been
was
in the bar
pissed
for
as-
some time.
pissed as well.
Yeah, and
She
she's
won't
like,
remember it the next morning, would she?
no, would you come back and bring the show back? Mark says that you won't bring it back. And I was like, well, okay, we'll come back. So
See, that's been the theory for the last 15 years. Just leave them wanting more.
we're spoiling it now.
Yeah.
Now we're leaving the morning less.
Well, there was a moment.
Yeah.
It's a fine line between leave them wanting more and leave
Great
them wanting
show,
less.
guys.
There's a bit of a blur, actually, Rick, going that the timeline of it, when it was on, when it wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, God.
When was the band on?
The band they had a year off. We struggled with negotiations, but I think they were there from 2002.
That was the bar tab, wasn't it?
Yeah, the bar tab just got ridiculous.
But are we going to get the band back on the podcast?
Well, not in this room.
No, probably not in here, but maybe they could zoom in.
Yeah, we did the band by Zoom.
Yeah, okay.
would we feel it?
We'll just put another layer to the podcast,
I think it makes a lot of sense.
And those guys need the work.
Well, they do, yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't had a gig since.
It's hard being a 50-plus musician
There's one time.
Podcast musician.
playing folk.
Yeah.
Can you stop talking, please?
Sorry.
Right. I was trying to throw to a memory, a look back at a moment where you gave my cell phone out to the nation.
I can't remember last week, mate.
Right.
Please contact me on 021 671 071. That's Rick's number, but
There we go.
but I'm sure
Give
he'd
me
like
your
to hear
cell
from
phone,
you.
I'll throw it away. I'll just throw it away now. God.
And I'll tell you what, I reckon it's a good enough idea. We'll win the prize,
I didn't think,
particularly given we're voting for it.
My phone's just started ringing. My number is actually 021 77 22 22. Or is that your number? No.
Oh, come on now. This is just
It's not my number.
silly.
Give it a go.
It is a huge weekend this weekend. We've got the All Blacks on Saturday, and of course the Warriors have made it through into the top 8, which is
Okay, so
incredible.
it is my number, but fuck you. 021 671 071. Right, you.
I'm not going to get involved. This is a conversation. It's an enormous weekend coming up. The Warriors have made it through the top 8. We're very excited. They're up against the Melbourne Storm, and with us tonight, we've got
That's the third in
Michael
2 minutes.
Witt. Please
Piss
put your hands
off.
together. Please welcome Michael Witt.
Oh, it was a good idea giving our numbers out last week, wasn't it? I'll tell you what, the upside was that I got sent 3 nude shots of women as a personal entry to Nude Day, which I thought was thank
So
you very
these
much.
these were text pics?
Pics.
On your cell
the
phone?
downside was the guy who took a photo of his piece and sent it to me. Didn't really appreciate that quite as much as you may have thought I would. And the guy who stuck potato chips in his ass crack under the title of Chip Butty and sent it to me. That was actually my favourite. Good on you.
So if
A lot of
anyone...
people actually wanted to know about our relationship, Lana, and
Oh, good.
being a man of
Right.
integrity, I told them nothing.
No. Well, that's better than the normal story, which is
Kept it to
we won't even
myself.
go down that. Yeah.
But the good news is, we've managed to change our numbers. But if you want to write this one down, this is 021 06 29 566. That's Lana.
Hey, that's Lana's number.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of... Most of the texts I got were requests for Lana's number, so there it is. Welcome.
Welcome to our page.
Let's have a look at
Fortunate
the.
man, I'm stuck to the set at the moment.
Well, Mark, you know.
I know
I
you're
believe you just
excited,
handed out my
but...
phone number. What did you do that?
Let's.
Oh, jeez.
God.
Where is Lana? Where is Lana?
She's not taking my calls.
No.
You change your number.
Yeah, I keep dialing that number.
She's still answering calls
Do
from.
you remember how crazy our phones went?
Oh, it was no. Not particularly, but clearly on the show that they went off that night.
It's only funny
But the guy sending photos, I can't remember that either.
It was a pixt.
God, it
Pics,
must be
yeah.
the head knots.
Pics. Imagine nowadays with the number what they could do. They send it.
Yeah, it'd all be through social media now.
So I had that number
021
from the beginning.
827.
Hey,
That's all I remember of your number. I'm going to look it up.
don't you dare! Because the good thing is this is not live, so I just edited it out.
Oh, boo.
Because I'd had that phone number forever since the birth of time, and I had to go and get a new number because my phone just blew up. It just went nuts, and most of them were sort of suggestions that I can't really repeat. A lot of them from you. Well, and then your phone went nuts, so you had to change your number too.
Lana's must have gone ballistic.
Yeah, her one
The
would've
thing
gone
is,
crazy.
what people didn't know is that we'd bought a burner phone.
That actually was quite funny. That made me giggle.
Yeah, so we
God,
bought
am I
a burner
slurring
phone.
already? This is not good. Can I have some of those chips?
Need to sober up there.
Thank you.
We'd bought a burner phone, so it was a false number. So we gave it out, so everyone thought it was Lana's number, and it just went insane.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And
But no, where is Lana?
she's not taking our calls.
Is she not? You've spoken to her?
Yeah,
And what'd she say? Did she?
she hung up. I said hello, Lana, and she just hung up.
Yeah.
She didn't even
okay.
reply.
No,
You got to do things a bit differently these days.
She's got
Maybe a
good
text.
management.
Maybe a text.
Yeah, text,
Contact her on
Instagram
or something.
message,
Yeah.
Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, yeah.
That usually.
Snapchat.
How would you break up with a woman these days?
Uh,
Yeah,
or
interest.
you just wouldn't say anything. You just
Silent treatment.
ghost them. Yeah.
Ghost.
Yeah, that's the
nasty.
term using these
That's
days.
cold.
There's no, yeah. People aren't real these days, you know.
I'd just like to apologise for the people that are listening on their headphones that can listen to Mark chewing and
I can't hear it, mate.
you don't have headphones on, but the people listening to you are listening in their headphones because otherwise they can't hear it.
All right, I'll just put it down there.
Well, Mark's actually doing what people like to listen to these days. It's called ASMR, where you listen to people drink and eat. Yeah, just by watching videos or put on headphones. Am
Food porn.
I right, guys? ASMR's a thing. Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah.
Yeah. I've actually. I don't know why I've seen that, but I have.
Hey, we've got a guest organised.
Splendid.
Shereé Kaka is part of the Black Ferns team. She's injured at the moment, but the Black Ferns Sevens getting ready for the Olympics. So, Shereé, are you there? Can you hear us?
Wow.
Oh, good work, Rick. I mean, this is really, what I'd call a top-notch show.
Top-notch.
I mean, we've got basically a distorted version of an alien coming in. I can't hear a
really you,
word. It's like
Shereé,
a
or-
buzzy sound right the way through.
I'm not in charge of the technical side of things.
Well, yeah, but you're in charge of the budget. Surely you could have. I mean, these guys here.
It might be
Is
that
that better? I took the headphones
Yeah,
off.
that's much better. That's better.
Okay.
Brilliant.
All right. Hey, Shereé, how are you?
Good. How are you guys? You haven't ended the podcast or anything yet?
Well, we're trying to.
We're desperately attempting. Knocking on the head early.
I'm not sure if they've really bought into the enthusiasm of the idea.
It doesn't look it, actually. I think I'm smiling more than everyone else, so maybe I'll get the energy up.
Now, just to answer one quick question. Is this like a stage set? Are you actually in a rural environment, or is this like something that you've dropped down behind it? Oh, look at that.
I'm not a fan of people, so hubby and I moved out bush.
Well, yeah, with a little bit of farmland in behind it. Waikato?
Bay of Plenty,
Bay of
just
Plenty.
outside of Tauranga.
Oh, Tēnā.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What kind of stock are you running there?
Yeah, great question.
Thanks, mate.
Got 3 cows, 2 pigs, 5 dogs at the moment, 1 cat, and then 1 husband.
Great. Any ostrich?
Unfortunately, no, just some turkeys that come every now and then.
The neighbours' turkeys,
I hope they're not the neighbours' turkeys.
they fall asleep on fence posts and they're very, very docile when they're asleep. And if you go past on a quad bike really quick, you can take a couple.
Noted.
And I've had to euthanize an ostrich before. Yeah, my brother worked on an ostrich farm and he was away and I had to fill in for him. The ostrich broke its leg. The way you do it, you put a black hood over the ostrich. Seriously.
That's probably worse than giving it a bit
And
of
then
cricket.
it'll just sit down on its haunch and just be very still. In the end, your job is to sort of
No, the question was the pools have come out for the Olympics for the sevens. What are our chances looking like in the men's and women's sevens? I mean, Sheree's in the sevens squad, but injured at the moment.
Yeah, that's
so,
how I was leading to that from
the
my question.
ostrich thing.
Yeah, that was my segue. Anyway,
Okay.
carry on.
Oh, were you going to put a black hood around me then?
No.
Yeah, got the pools out. I think our women's team got the hardest pool, I reckon, out of the other two. So it should be some good games. I haven't actually looked at the men's though.
So who have you got in your pool?
We've got USA, Fiji, and China. No, we don't have USA. Sorry. We've got Canada.
Canada.
We've got Canada, Fiji, and China.
And we've struggled against Canada recently, haven't we?
We have. Everyone thinks it's the white jerseys,
Right.
but I just think we just didn't play well. So
Yeah. So,
no excuses.
and you're injured, obviously, but will you get the chance to go over to the Olympics?
Yeah. So we leave on the 16th of July just to go and kind of do what you guys are doing, spinning some yarns and hoping that people like it.
You feel free to use the ostrich story if you want. That you can,
Yeah.
I'll email you all the full details, but
some pictures and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
look, and
yeah.
it was euthanasia.
Right.
So, you know, it wasn't a cruelty thing.
No.
A lot of times a bag on the heads are
Yeah, I think we should stop talking about
humane
heads. Yeah.
way to go about things.
Yeah, that's-
Well,
yeah.
anyway, sometimes.
Yeah.
Can I also ask, Shereé, you've got a strong TikTok audience. We
Yeah.
might like when we did Sports Cafe, none of these things existed.
Mate, can you stop drinking? Like, that was highly inappropriate what he and I were just laughing about. And there you are, as our PCA, political correctness advisor, just drinking piss and laughing to yourself.
We don't want to have to
You've
bring
got to
another
edit that out.
political correct
Yeah.
advisor to look after you.
Can I ask my question
Is that
again?
your
Yeah,
chosen drink of choice though, or is it just a brand that's sponsoring you guys?
No,
we went and bought it.
Sponsor. Great question.
It's just the absurdity of it. Like, I mean, we've been with these guys for about 30 years and came in and there were no beers. So I had to go and buy a box of beer. I mean, this guy's in charge of the show, which is an absolute shambles, has been from right at the outset. You should have seen the titles.
Can I ask my question again? So, Shereé, you've got a massive TikTok audience, which obviously didn't exist when we were. So, can we get some advice from you about how we can get our TikTok audience up from 26?
Have you got you've got a TikTok account? Have you added one, or you just
Yeah,
They're
Sports
committed.
Cafe-
It's a
Sports
committed
Cafe-
26, though.
Is that
NZ.
26,000 or?
no, 26.
All right, mate.
Yeah.
26 views.
Yeah. So, what do you reckon? What should we do to get our audience up?
So you find someone to mock. I found my husband, and people just end up loving it. And sometimes when he wants to sleep in the dog box, he has comebacks that get the people going as well. So I think you guys have chosen your person to pick on already.
Yeah.
Just get some videos of that, and then
Oh,
it'll
look,
go
I'm sorry,
viral,
but
okay?
you can't just say the little guy's the one that we can't.
I
pick
think she was
on
talking
him.
about Rick.
Yeah,
was
I thought we were talking about Mark. Can you actually name?
Anyone on set.
Guys can put me on both Rick and so both of you guys actually. So maybe you two can go against the others so that you can.
And what about do you do all the dances and the challenges and stuff that they have on TikTok?
Oh no! So you've asked me about the young stuff. I'm actually 29, which is really old in TikTok years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're actually asking the wrong person.
So someone like Rick who's like pushing 70, that is kind of too old for the TikTok scene, you think?
Yeah, it's a comeback though. Everyone's like quite surprised when 7-year-olds
Well,
are
we're
doing
surprised
it.
he's still alive, to be honest. I mean, have a look at him.
Well, I think the 7-year-olds are more the watchers, Shereé, rather than
Yeah.
the
Oh,
posters.
mate, you're meant to be the political correctness advisor. You can't.
Can we just
make
clarify
statements.
that I'm not 70?
If you want to do that, Rick, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, Shereé. Well, thanks so much for all your help and guidance, and I'm just really sorry.
I'm learning.
We'll see you on the dark web.
No, thanks for having me. I hope you guys make it out of the first episode.
Thanks, Shereé.
Thanks, Shereé.
Thank you. See ya.
Cheers.
See ya.
So, like,
Learned a lot there.
That took us up a level slightly there, Rick. That was good.
yeah, the interviews big part of the show.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rick, if we're going to continue this, you're going to get some, like, you chuck some names at you. Your Usain Bolts, your
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Furies, Larry Holmes.
Larry, he's
Larry. That's when the show first started.
Larry Holmes, your Roger Bannisters.
Yeah. Dick
Dick
Quacks.
Quacks is
Yeah. Duran.
Yeah, you can't be
Roberto
talking
Duran.
about
Mark
Federer
Spitz.
or anyone.
Mark Spitz.
So
Yeah.
some of those people have
Greg Louganis.
passed away.
Greg
So we
Louganis.
won't. The ones that have passed away, we unfortunately
Well, let's
won't be able
focus
to
on the
have.
ones that haven't then.
Yeah.
You know,
That'd be better to speak to.
yeah.
Can I just look back at a show where you gave people some advice?
Oh, okay.
The Players Association were doing a speech, a luncheon, and you got invited to do a speech. And unfortunately, this is the advice that you gave them.
Okay.
Years ago, we looked at this program. We said it's not life after rugby; it's just life. But we want the guys right from the early stage to recognise that their career is not just rugby. Their career stretches well beyond rugby. I think there's a lot of lessons for us, some association and the players out there post their career. Yeah, mate.
You just have a seat, Rob, actually. If you want. Most of you probably know, if you've read my biography, Life After Rugby and Adhesive Abuse, I probably had the longest lifetime ban from rugby that's ever been dished out for eye gouging a referee's testicles. He's a touch judge now. He doesn't actually...
Where did that guy come from?
Mate, no idea. Honestly, I've got no idea.
Many of you will know this. You can't hide. You can't bullshit. If you're crap, people know it. In business, you can bullshit. You can lie. As most of the people here will tell you, they probably got their job for bullshitting their CV in the first place. So I suppose, and is this what you want me to talk about, Rob, or not? No, probably not. But if I could bring it back to me again, my great-uncle Kenny, for example, he had a huge impact on New Zealand rugby for inventing the hospital pass back in... This is pretty serious stuff. I was actually banned for a couple of years from emceeing or talking live on a microphone from a rugby dinner. Some of you remember a couple of years back, things got a little bit crazy and I urinated on a margarine sculpture. I'll be hanging out in the car park later on, by the way, if you want to touch on anything one-on-one, or just buy any sort of cheap electronic goods. Okay, so thank you. Cheers.
You got a standing ovation.
That's good. That's good.
Well, as you can see from that, Rick, I wasn't actually invited to speak. I just felt the need to get up there. You know, Rob Nichol was doing a good job, but I just didn't feel he was being honest with the players there. You know, that life is tough after rugby, you know, and they need to get a proper life lesson.
What was the reaction like afterwards?
Oh, it was great.
Did people come up and touch you in the car park, or?
No, not really. I sold a few things in the car park. That's about it. But no, I don't know. I mean, look, isn't it ironic now that, like, say, Dan Carter and that you saw in that clip, they've started up a similar thing to what I was trying to do.
What were you trying to do?
What was I trying to do? Well, basically...
Retirement villages.
Yeah. Like, you know, a
Retirement villages.
People like you, Rick. You need a place to die. And
I
can't do this when I'm bloody listening to myself.
Yeah,
you need a
neither
place
can
to
the
die.
word die.
And to do it, you know, with support and, activities.
I don't need to be in a retirement village. And he's a potato chip guy, Snackachangi. He's not retirement villages. That's his business.
Well, that is now, but not back then it wasn't.
Villages.
But that back then was the seed of the idea that became Snackachangi.
Perhaps. I was trying to sort of look after these rugby players once they've finished rugby.
Just give them the gift of motivation. I think.
Motivation.
That's what I saw.
Tell them that this life's not fair out there.
No,
And
sometimes it's tough.
there's not, you know.
I mean,
When I'm talking to him, I'm not talking to you.
sorry.
I don't need you sort of coming in and repeating every word he says.
You're like his father.
Don't ever say that I'm his father.
He's like my father.
Yeah.
No, he is like his father, which is quite scary.
You're like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
When he takes
There's a
the helmet.
surprise. Yeah, I've got a surprise for you, Mark.
Can we grab a shot of that? Oh, for fuck's sake.
I don't think we can. Oh, I guess we can't swear. Just bleep it out.
Oh, we can, surely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But look,
if
you're
we
trying
can't
to-
swear, I'm not coming
You're
on
saying
the
we
show.
couldn't get away with that sort of stuff nowadays? The speeches like that, when that was all above board, that was good.
Yeah.
Professional,
Yeah, well, it was a good start there.
you know? There's not enough of that.
Not enough.
there's
As I say, people keep saying you couldn't get away with it nowadays.
Well, we
Why
are.
not? Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I
Well,
think
it's-
that's what's missing. Is that
Yeah.
little edginess? You just got to
Hey,
be.
you're holding us back. Don't encourage us to push the limits. Now we have a sponsor, which is not.
Shit.
Oh, boy.
Sorry. Yeah, who's the sponsor? TAB.
TAB is our sponsor. Now, TAB was our first sponsor, so really we thank the TAB for starting us off, because without the TAB there would have been a sports cafe. And so what we're going to do with the TAB is I'm going to make some bets on behalf of the show, the podcast.
Yep. Lovely.
And I'm going to generate huge amounts of money, which I'm going to give to charity.
That makes sense, and then we can mock people.
Yeah, and then we'll build up some credits.
Including ourselves.
Yeah, we'll build up some credits from all the good works that we do. So
Do
we
you
can
choose
then
the
mock.
charities, or do we all choose them?
Well, you can all suggest them, and then I'll choose them.
Okay.
I'll ignore your suggestions.
Is the only place we can mock people on TikTok?
Yeah, no, you can do it everywhere. Instagram's like Facebook, you got to be a bit picky and choosy with your content, but TikTok, because there's so much out there.
How about TV? Is that still a thing?
Well, they're not so much.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a television, but no one watches channels anymore.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So TV is not because we were on TV one time, weren't we?
Yeah.
It's not a thing now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, no, I mean,
It's still
they're
a
all
thing.
so woke in PC TV these days that if you did something that offended 3 or 4 people and they got vocal about it, then that show would be cancelled.
What's going to happen if
Straight
we...
away.
When we're on TV, TVs for about like 4 feet thick.
Yeah.
Tube. They weren't even flat screens.
No.
And you could complain to the BSA and nothing would really happen to you. These days, people click 2 buttons and your video.
Actually, funny you should say that, because when we did
Are
the
people
TV
going to be
show...
able to comment on this show? Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
YouTube, TikTok, everything.
So when we were doing Sports Cafe for TV New Zealand, we had a person full-time on complaints just for us.
Would you mind if I just sort of poured a bit of cooking oil all over you and maybe had a wrestle?
Put a what?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's,
Thinking out loud.
Yeah, too much Steinies.
So we're actually leading to the place where I'm trying to get to, which we had so many complaints.
Canola oil.
And nothing got more complaints.
I think baby oil.
Nothing got more complaints than
Baby oil?
this. Hey,
Well, hey, this is a bloody deep negotiation.
I know it's a private moment, but you can't have a private moment when we're doing a public podcast.
There's nobody else in here.
Well, there's 3 other
Baby oil. And,
what was the first thing, though?
Speedos. Well, I was saying cooking oil. Like glaze yourself like a Christmas ham and we'll have a
hydraulic
wrestle.
oil.
Hey?
Gearbox
I think
oil,
that's
like more viscous.
stereotyping and
It's not silly, but gear oil with some sand in
Well,
it. to make it
Something, a grease
musky.
gun.
I have people who will call this out and they'll be like, stop it. So I think we just,
enough. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, cancel culture is real. People make series on cancelling this one person and then.
You can't cancel a show that we want to cancel anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll give you that one.
You're gonna bye-bye 1,500 Instagram followers.
We'll cancel
Not
them.
allowed to.
We'll cancel our cancellers.
All right. Very dad of you to say.
That's what you do is you come in when there's nothing at risk. There's nothing at risk.
Nothing's
I'm
gonna
trying
happen.
to throw to something. I'm trying
Okay.
to segue nicely into talking about complaints and cancel culture and where things went wrong. Nothing went more wrong on Sports Cafe than this moment.
Axman, tell me this. What do you think of Johnny Wheatbags Leslie?
Awesome.
Yeah. It's a fair cluster, isn't it?
Yep.
Nice to know you're such good friends.
Oh, you don't get that without fine genetics, Graham, I can assure you of that.
I brought some of our local produce on, and I was going to share
Speaking
that.
of ginger devils.
But mate,
No.
you can have
Ginger devil.
you can have them both.
It's Father Jack.
Oh, the ginger devil, God bless her.
Irresponsible thing you've ever done in your entire life, Stuart.
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Sit down.
Yeah.
Sit down, Jack. Back off, Jim. Jim, back down.
Let's just stop it now, eh?
That
Wow,
was
that's- I was going to say that takes you back, but it doesn't really.
no, thank God. That
There was like 5 things there that the redhead referral, the gingers, the promoting alcohol, Native American sound. That was
That wasn't me making the Native American sound.
Oh, but still just having on the show in general.
Yeah, it's a live show. It's hard not to.
Yeah, it's
You know.
very difficult.
don't be defensive. This
How
is
do you
the
know
way
it
we're
wasn't
going to
a
learn.
Native
Yeah.
American person making that sound?
Yeah, we don't know that because we never saw them on camera.
But you took offence at the fact, even though you didn't know it was.
Oh, I
You're
didn't
taking
take
offence
offense.
before you need to take offence.
Hold
Yeah.
on. I know that's all really important, but I'd just like you to apologise for being drunk on a show I put so much effort into.
That wasn't.
He's doing the same thing now,
That
really.
wasn't drunk.
You were drunk.
No, it's acting.
You were acting drunk.
It's a TV show. That's what people do.
What? They act.
Well, TVNZ bought that. Anyhow. Yeah.
They act drunk.
Mate, that was actually pretty, oh, I hate this. Pretty decent by comparison to what happened on that show, was it not?
That's the end of the show. By that stage, you'd sobered up a little bit.
Was that the same show?
Yeah, that's the end of the drunk show.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's amazing what genetics will do.
Look so young in that one.
I don't think you're that bad anyway.
Mate. It'll do.
Well, because you were younger.
Yeah.
Well, it was.
See,
it was in the past.
that's the way they do it these days. They insult and then they bring it back. You know, like, oh, you look.
But do you have any regrets about your performance on that show?
I can't remember it.
It's
what
hard to
should I
regret
say?
something you can't remember.
Yeah. I didn't like some of the things there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because I put a lot of work into that particular show. I got great guests and.
Rick, a better
Are you
question.
looking for
Would you have
actual-
any regrets about the 15? How many was it? 10 years worth of TV?
Yeah, let's say
15,
10.
wasn't it?
No, about 10ish.
No, that was Game of Two Halves. That was the other.
No, that was 2 years.
What the people want to hear, Mark, upon reflection, seeing these clips, do you have any regrets from anything that happened? Now, this answer is pretty key to what people want to hear.
No.
No,
Not really.
okay. All right.
Any regrets, Lee?
None whatsoever.
No, none from me actually either.
Yeah, but you see, I said no, not really.
Oh,
Leave it open. Leave the
Yeah.
door open. You see, these guys have been black
Yeah.
and white about it. I'd cancel them. But
He's not the one that's just going to cancel us.
no. The
He can
public's
start
going to
it
do
off.
that
He can-
already.
He can kick it off.
Yeah.
I thought a nice way to end this show quickly is to there's a lot of
I'm going to get the black hood.
what I was going to say was that there's a lot of negativity out there in the world at the moment. A lot of it comes through social. People are judging everyone. People are sort of criticizing people. I thought a great way to sort of sum this show up would be to just go around the table and think about something that's made you feel good this week, something that you're really positive, something you're looking forward to, something that you've done in the last few days, something you've seen. I'll start you off. There's a
Talk
guy.
about masturbation, eh?
Okay, yeah, we can't talk that.
No, he said
we can't talk about
why
that.
not? Everyone
Yeah.
does it.
Yeah, but no,
It's a natural thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if we want this to be a
It's
communal
just when you're doing
thing,
it in the corner, as a 70-year-old man watching this.
that's accusations now. You're really going to watch.
He said he's a watcher.
Stop,
He said
You just
stop.
need to define it a bit better. Rick.
Okay, I'll try and give you an example. It's
Okay.
not
No.
that.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
No, we don't need an example of what Mark said. Don't worry, I got you here. We're not getting an example of what Mark
Right.
said.
So here's an example. There's a guy called Nathan in Melbourne who makes people feel good by wandering around holding a giant carrot, and he does that. Like sometimes he's sitting around, he's watching a DVD. I don't know why he's watching a DVD.
You're sitting around
You can watch
watching
Netflix.
watching the DVD. I mean, this is
Has he not got Netflix? But that was
Disney
his
or
story.
something.
Anyway, so he's watching Netflix and he's like, what am I doing? People out there need a lift. And he goes and picks up his giant paper mache carrot, Nathan does, and he walks around the streets of Melbourne and people see him and they feel better. He started off with a giant turnip and then that didn't quite work, and then he did a giant squid and an octopus, and then he finally finished on a carrot. And now he goes around with his giant carrot making people feel good. So I read that today and I thought, what a great guy.
That's why you live in Okini.
He's got mental issues, though, hasn't he? I mean,
No.
on a,
We can't accuse people of mental issues
See, thank
as
you.
well.
Well,
Well, he's
made
on.
it,
He's
though.
on.
He's
He's
just
on.
different.
He's undoubtedly on the spectrum.
No, he's just a really enthusiastic
But
carrot man.
who
I
isn't
don't-
Just
on the
his own
spectrum?
person, really.
Can we not
We're all on the
judge?
spectrum.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I love people on the spectrum. You don't want to be right in the middle of the bell curve, do you?
Where are you?
On the peripheral.
Yeah, thank you.
That way or that way.
So,
Both peripheries.
so that's an example.
Both edges
So
of
I'll
the-
give you
of the
another
belly.
example. So I saw today.
By the way, the guy I referred to with the wheat sack, he's had an operation to remove it.
Okay, well that's good to know. Thank you
Yeah,
for the
it's like
update.
I didn't even
Samson
know what
having
you
it-
said just then,
Yeah,
Mark.
well, that's good.
Yeah.
Samson's lost his hair, and
Yeah.
with it, all his power.
Thank you for your update. But here's another example. Adi Sevilla on the weekend played club rugby for Oris in Wellington. He was interviewed having a sausage and a bit of white bread, while he's doing the interview, and then
You allowed to
afterwards,
say that?
Yeah, he can, because I saw this interview too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
well, you're not allowed to say white bread.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course you can.
New age.
Yeah,
And the
'cause
sausage?
there's brown bread and
Yeah, and then Artie finished by putting $500 on the bar at his club, shouting everyone a beer. You know, and I thought that was magnificent. Made me feel good. So, anything that made you feel good this week?
Yeah, I was at the bar when he put the $500 down.
Was it?
Yeah. And it made me feel good.
Oh, that's good. Anything else?
Might have to come back to me on that one. This week.
Yeah.
Hell of a week, Rick.
I think the word "how" was something we
Ooh.
can't say
What
too
about,
often as well.
while he's thinking, Mark, is there something that this week's that you felt good about? Something that you've enjoyed that's made you sort of
Oh, I mean, on a half serious note, and last time I watched Schindler's List,
Schindler's List?
yeah, it was in 1993,
Yep.
and I was a university student at the at the picture theatre with our rugs over us, and it was a pretty moving movie. Obviously, I mean, it's a significant topic and very, very tragic, but there was underlying beauty in Oskar Schindler and what he did to save many thousand Jews. 6 million were murdered by the Germans as they moved through Poland. Was this? But nonetheless, I watched it and it was incredibly moving. And I'm a bit of a weeper in movies,
likewise.
regardless of whether or not I'm on a plane. If I'm on a plane, I mean, I can listen to music, and it's thank God there's sliding doors these days. As we left the movie, like it was one of those moments where there's only 8 students down the front and these 2 people at the back. Lights come on and everyone's kind of shell-shocked. And as I was walking out, this old man and this lady were just cuddling each other. And I said, "Can I help you, ma'am and sir?" And they said, No, we were there. We saw that happen.
Oh.
And it was in the 90s.
Wow.
And I was so moved by that movie. And it's taken me 30 years or 28 years to watch it again. Watched it again. I thought it was just a beautiful example of humanity, So really tough topic to watch, and being a blubber, I was blubbering the whole way through it, which is not particularly cool in front of new girl. But nonetheless, at the end of it, it's a celebration and a
Yeah, and what's so scary too, because back in the 90s like that, there were a lot of people that were there. Now there's none unless they have a 2 or 3 year old.
This is it.
And it's really, really concerning if we want to drop all the woke crap for a while, how many people have forgotten, because they don't have a direct relative, or, we were playing World War II when we were kids, dressing up, and it was part of all the movies for World War II, all those sort of movies as well. Now, there's no sense of history now in that sense. It's a concern for me.
History is really important
switched.
because the lessons we learn from history have got to be sort of taken in as we go into the future. And if we don't remember our stories,
Well, history now, I mean, if we go full circle, what we've been talking about, tongue in cheek about online stuff and cancel this, cancel whatever, it's not a real history anymore.
No.
The history that we're in 10 years' time going back to reflect on is actually, God, don't get me started on AI, getting photos now together with people that were never even standing together. This is Elvis with so-and-so. No, he wasn't. That photo never existed. And people will believe what they see.
The thing about these days now is the fear of glamorizing those things, like in World War II and World War
It's not
I.
glamorizing it.
but we need to
That's
tell
how
those
people
stories.
see it.
We need
Yeah.
to tell.
But it's the glossing over it quickly and pretending you know
It's
about
the opposite.
it when you haven't actually studied it and you haven't actually been...
By not addressing it and saying it, you're doing the opposite than what you're trying to do. I don't know if Mark wants me to mention this. Something that made me happy to bring it back to sport in a full circle kind of way was bloody North-South game. Must be 94, 95. You actually played in it. Bloody good rugby, right? It was North-South. It must have been the final sort of almost trial game for All Blacks.
Might be 95. Did you mark Jonah in that game?
Yeah, that was good
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
You can see he forgot, so...
But people go, "Oh, mate, John Longer," and you go, "Yeah."
Yeah, but you guys got off to a flyer, actually. You guys scored first couple of tries and stuff. It was good. You had Jeff, obviously, Tabai Matson. I don't know, I watched that game. I didn't know the result because it was so long ago. I just watched it. I just enjoyed it as a game. It was really, really good. So I don't know what they do. They're going to have to head off into the bloody boardrooms and I don't know who's in charge of it and sort that game out.
Tackling Jonah was, when you're a shit golfer and you're teeing off on a links course up high and the wind, sea breeze is coming in, and if you don't hit that ball perfectly, it's going to shank one way or the other. That was like tackling him. If you didn't get him absolutely perfect, you'd be swatted and it would really hurt. Really hurt.
And then your confidence would be...
it was horrible. He was the most freakish athlete in the world. You can say that now. You couldn't say it 15 years ago.
No.
Because he could pass too if he didn't get
Well,
him
he
in the
could
right
run over
side
you.
off.
He could run around you. He was the quickest over 10 metres in the All Blacks, or he could sidestep you. It's just like, what the...
Yeah.
So that's why you went to league.
And he, because they couldn't do that. they could do the beep test too to like 15. Like he wasn't a great beep tester, but horrible stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, that just came up on some feed, some social
feed, yeah.
Don't say feed.
Not with
It's
rugby.
called For You
Mate,
page
I'm
now on
telling you.
TikTok.
104 kg flat.
You were 102, 103, 103.6, and now 104.
Yeah. Have you got those titles again? Let's finish. We love those titles.